Chapter 62. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Crocus had words stuck in his throat at this moment. He never expected that the other party would call Shanks and actually threaten and blackmail the other party. Shameless. How shameless. But, it can be heard from Shanks' angry words that Yuta must be Shanks' daughter. Only, what should he do now? It was to help Shanks, defeat Qingyun, and save Yuta, or should I say that I didn't see anything happening, didn't intervene, and just let the other person go? And at this time. Qingyun, why don't you say something to make Shanks anxious? Why do you impose conditions without authorization? Wuda was also speechless about Qingyun's operation. Originally, when the other party said that she had the opportunity to contact Shanks, she had discussed it with her. The small smell of Shanks made the other party anxious and anxious. She had been beaten for so many years. The price of being kept in the dark, but she didn't expect Qingyun to make Shanks anxious like this, although, when she heard Shanks, the phone bug, angrily threaten Qingyun because of her, she still felt very happy. After all, this shows that Shanks still cares about her daughter. The other party really only kept her to protect her in the first place. Yuta, do you think Shanks is anxious now? Qingyun asked aloud. What else is anxiety if not anxiety? Yuta said quickly. Isn't that enough? It was promised to make Shanks anxious, but it has been done. Why do you still care about those details? As for that little condition, just think of it as a small price to pay for Shanks leaving you alone for more than 10 years. Moreover, I didn't ask him to pay. I just asked him to bring 10 big pirates. He is the Yonko. Is it difficult to catch 10 big pirates with a bounty of more than 500 million? I promise you that when you get this bounty, all of it will be used to rebuild the kingdom of Elegia. 27 Qingyun also said seriously, is money what he cares about? Impossible. When he gets stronger, he can just kill a few big pirates and earn hundreds of millions of dollars. Therefore, what he cares about most is his own strength. It was only after he first learned that Crocus was here in addition to being a lighthouse keeper that he realized that the other party probably had Shanks' contact information, so he prepared to blackmail him. 500 million Bailey's big pirates with a bounty on them. This means that the strength of these big pirates is at least that of a junior general. If 10 of these big pirates are killed, they will definitely lose their body, soul, and physical skills. If one ability crystal falls down, if he is lucky, there may even be 15 or 16 ability crystals. 10 legendary crystals can be synthesized into epic-grade ability crystals. Therefore, if he does not blackmail someone, I really feel a little sorry for working so hard here to level up, instead of slowly leveling up bit by bit. I don't know if it will take half a year or a year to reach the Emperor level. He still prefers to just follow the steps. Blackmail him from the hands of Max. As long as the blackmail is successful, 1 month later, in the kingdom of Alabasta, his body, soul, and physical skills will inevitably reach the level of the Emperor. As for talent and swordsmanship, then it depends on the talents of the big pirate brought by Shanks, how many of them are good at swordsmanship, and how many ability crystals they can drop. Not even a Pele. Nami felt that it was difficult to breathe. Originally, Qingyun threatened Shanks. As a best friend with Yuta, she only felt that it was a good job, especially when Qingyun still. She extorted 10 big pirates with bounties of more than 500 million belly. If this was exchanged for the bounty in the navy, it would be an income of at least 5 billion belly, so, she had already released her eyes. It was full of the glory of Bailey, until Qingyun said that all the bounty money was given to Yuta. Her face was ashen. 5 billion Baileys. Such a huge sum of money was about to be obtained soon. To leave her like this kind of heartache is not something ordinary people can understand. Otherwise, when the money is available, 4 billion belly will be used to rebuild Elegia, and everyone can share the remaining 1 billion. Yuta also said weakly, during this period, she could be said to be eating and drinking on the boat, and Nami also took her to buy a lot of clothes. Nami basically paid for it, so if she could really have such a large amount of money, she felt that she should repay Qingyun and Nami. No need, Iogia is more important. Nami reluctantly refused, although she said she likes money very much. This money is Yuta's money to rebuild the country of Elegia. How can she accept it with peace of mind? She can kill evil for the sake of the village. All the money obtained in Dragon Park is evenly distributed to everyone ruled by the dragon pirates, so, how can she ask for the other party's money? Mr. Crocus, when the time comes to trade with Shanks, you still need to contact him. Can you sell this phone bug to me? I bid 5 million belly. Qingyun also said to Crocus, if he didn't even have contact information with Shanks, when he arrived in Alabasta, he couldn't even find the other party's people. How could he get the 10 from the other party? What about the big pirate with a bounty of more than 500 million belly? Leave his contact information so that he can agree on a clear location with him. Good. Crocus agreed decisively. He was still hesitating before about whether to take action, but after hearing the exchange between Qingyun and Yuta, he also understood the reason. This was not kidnapping or blackmail, it was clearly incense. Kessa's daughter was angry with him and deliberately made Kessa angry. By the way, she wanted to extort money, this was a family matter, so he decided not to get involved. Moreover, just such a phone bug could actually earn 5 million shellfish. Profit. I've definitely made this money. The worst is, when Shanks comes here again, let him give another phone bug. He is a doctor. Likewise, money is short of money, the doctor doesn't even have money to buy medical materials. No, what kind of doctor is that? Especially, he has to take care of a whale that is a huge headache. After receiving the answer, Qingyun also readily gave 5 million belly to Crocus, and he took away the phone bug that communicated with the red hair. Let's set off towards the great route and set a small goal to earn 10 billion belly. Qingyun said to Nami and Yuta. Then, under the gaze of Crocus. To read Baoshuang novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Qingyun's ship also set off. In this regard, I can only wish Shanks good luck, but I don't know how Shanks would react if he received such a threat to kidnap his daughter. New World, an unknown island. Shanks' domineering power can be said to be soaring into the sky, and the clouds in the sky are already billowing. Now, the phone bug that had been following him in his hand finally couldn't hold it anymore under the release of his dominance. As soon as he closed his eyes, he fainted. Shanks! Vice Captain Beckman also yelled. After this voice reached Shanks's ears, Shanks also noticed the surrounding situation, calmed down, quickly restrained his overbearing domineering, and then released it. Like this, go down, and your friends will not be able to hold on any longer. The domineering temper of the king has restrained. The crew members of the surrounding red-haired pirates have also suddenly relaxed, both physically and mentally. Everyone, I'm sorry, this banquet will be temporarily suspended. Shanks said to the group of friends. Let's go, Captain. Yuta has grown up watching us, how can we just sit back and ignore it? A bounty hunter dared to kidnap Yuta. Let us teach him a lesson after we find him. Let's set off, Captain. Yuta is still waiting. The crew members of the red-haired pirates also said in response. Shanks didn't just watch Yuta grow up. They also watched Yuta grow up, so how could they sit idly by and ignore it? Therefore, the red-haired pirates set off, and the next period of time, many big pirates were attacked by the red-haired pirates. Regarding the sudden crazy behavior of the red-haired pirates, when the other 4 emperors, the world government and the navy got the news, they were all confused and had no idea what the red-haired pirates wanted to do. 3 days later, they reached Whiskey Peak successfully. Once here, there were welcoming people all around. See these people. A bright smile appeared on Qingyun's face. Yuta, eat these 4 things. He also took out ability crystals. Came excellent body crystals, excellent soul crystals, excellent physical skills crystals and excellent swordsmanship crystals were given to the other party. You let me eat this. Yuta's eyes were full of rejection. She has no habit of eating crystals like this. Can people digest this? So, I reject. Yuta decisively refused. This is a good thing condensed by my ability. It is not the kind of crystal you imagined. After eating it, you can directly improve your own strength. I will kill so many people next, but I won't have the opportunity to take care of you. It's safe, that's why it gives you increased strength to protect yourself. This thing is very precious. You think I want to give it to you? Qingyun rolled his eyes at the other party and said. What he said is true, I have eaten it too. Nami also said at this time. Sorry, I thought it was. Stop talking nonsense and eat it quickly. I will go to work and kill people next. Qingyun directly interrupted Yuta's action of preparing ink for a while, and said directly. Good. Yuta also took 4 ability crystals. This time she swallowed them without hesitation. The ability crystals melted in her mouth, which directly improved her body a lot, this feeling of increasing her strength by 527 liters after passing by, it can be said that it made her linger a little bit. Qingyun, these people don't seem to be pirates. Nami also glanced at the people who welcomed them with smiles on their faces and frowned. She has 99% of the pirate bounty lists, so she did not choose from the group of people below. Discovering the faces of pirates, it can be said that these people are not pirates at all. They are bounty hunters. Qingyun said. Isn't that a peer? Why should we attack our peers? After hearing this, Nami didn't react, and she didn't understand why Qingyun wanted to attack his colleagues. They are bounty hunters, and they are also members of the Baroque Workshop. The Baroque Workshop is an organization formed by Crocodile, one of the 7 warlords. He is currently trying to subvert a country, so these people are pretending to be local residents. To attack passing pirates to steal treasures and exchange for bounties. We are not pirates, but they should be willing to kill for money, so this group of people can be considered our enemies. There is no need to hold back against them. Qingyun slowly explained to Nami. Stealing money. After Nami heard this, her expression changed instantly. This group of people has gone too far. Qingyun, please kill them all. Nami immediately changed her face. Want to steal her money? Sorry, the hatred for money is irreconcilable, so what about colleagues? They have to die, not to mention, it is an organization established by pirates, so this is more damned. No problem. Qingyun replied with a smile, then, their ship also docked, and they walked off. These disguised people also showed a very enthusiastic look and were ready to come directly, but... Chang! Qingyun pulling out the 3rd generation of ghosts, this time also discouraged these enthusiastic people. I cannot praise your enthusiasm, but since you have made us your target, be prepared to become your prey. As he said that, he also took action directly, Xiaoman with a sword flow of ghost energy. The gorgeous and demonic slash flew away from the blade, and the sword energy fell towards these people like raindrops. Almost instantly, dozens of people were injured, and dozens of people were injured. People were seriously injured, and several people died directly under Qingyun's attack. Are you ready to face death? Qingyun said slowly, he has used his actions to prove what he is going to do next. Thank you, Hun. Pretty boy, for your monthly support. Thank you very much. Chapter 63. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The screams sounded one after another, but suddenly stopped. Like a gardener, wielding a chainsaw, he cut off the leaves one by one. These people, just like leaves, under Qingyun's attack, it can be said that they had no power to fight back, and they fell to the ground one after another. Hundreds, no, it should be hundreds of peripheral employees of Baroque Works, unable to fight back in front of Qingyun. After all, Qingyun's current physique, physical skills, and swordsmanship have all reached the school level. At this stage, there are also a lot of experience bars, therefore, the combat power he unleashed was at least as strong as a colonel at the Navy headquarters. At this stage, he was proficient in both physical skills and swordsmanship, and the 3rd generation ghost in his hand was a sharp weapon for harvesting lives. Even though many of them have reached the level of sergeants, most of them are basically at the level of soldiers, but almost no one can block his attack, in a short period of time. Hundreds of peripheral members of the Baroque working group were chopped down and killed one by Qingyun using the 3rd generation ghost. Those who haven't been tricked yet. After seeing this situation, I was also frightened. So fierce. The ruthless person who directly attacked them without saying a word was really scared when they encountered such a ruthless person for the first time. But, there are also many peripheral members of the Baroque working group who have also set their sights on Nami and Yuta. The two of them came off the same ship as this ruthless man, so there must be some relationship between the two. Therefore, if these two women were caught to threaten each other, the other party would not dare to act rashly, but the ideal is very full, and the reality is very skinny, when some pirates rush towards Nami and Yuta, preparing to capture them alive. The two women made the first move. They all have lieutenant-level physiques, and are equipped with lieutenant-level and sergeant-level physical skills and swordsmanship respectively. It goes without saying that the fate of these peripheral members of the Baroque working society will naturally come to pass once they start a fight. Nami already has experience, therefore, she did not show any mercy when she took action, and Yuta has seen such a scene. That was when she was on the ship of Shanks' red-haired pirates, the most recent time. That was the time for the hero Qingyun to save the beauty. The fighting pirate group was easily eliminated by Qingyun, but for her, the actual experience in actual combat can be said to be 0. So, when faced with this situation, she took action. Although there were high-level physical skills and swordsmanship to help her, the battle after the attack was still not up to the level expected of a lieutenant. In a word, the fight is really rubbish. This lieutenant's physical skills and swordsmanship were all in vain, but it's okay. The strength of these peripheral members of the Baroque working society is not very strong. Most of them are only at the soldier level. A few have reached the sergeant level. Among so many people, there should be some who have reached the captain level. However, Qingyun has not yet killed him. But, it's only a matter of time. 10 minutes later, this place, bodies everywhere, those who kill will always be killed. Qingyun naturally doesn't have any good feelings towards this group of people who are eyeing him. This group of people are not even good people. He has already warmly welcomed them to the other party. It can be seen that the other party has already treated them. Treated as prey, assuming that if he is not strong enough, or is accidentally tricked by the other party, then the three of them will most likely die in the hands of this group of people, and Nami and Yuta are even more dangerous as women. So, what peers don't do. In this sea, as long as someone is interested in your treasure or something, then there is no need to hold back. The law of the jungle is the norm. Therefore, he wants to ensure his status as a strong man. If anyone threatens him, he will of course kill them without mercy. Certainly, some of them are for ability crystals. Part of it was also because he knew the situation here, so when he arrived and saw that this group of people really wanted to attack him, he could do it with peace of mind. Undoubtedly, this is an act of fishing for law enforcement, but in such an era, kindness to the enemy is cruelty to oneself. He is not stupid enough to leave a hand to the enemy. Therefore, so many people were directly solved by him. After dealing with these people, the familiar golden finger text also appeared. Pickable items detected. Do you want to pick them up? Pick up. Ding. Successfully picked up. Ordinary body crystals *122, excellent body crystals *233, rare body crystals *88, excellent body crystals *26, ordinary soul crystals *143, excellent soul crystals *301, rare soul crystals *132. Excellent soul crystals *43, ordinary talent crystals *98, excellent talent crystals *376, rare talent crystals *211, outstanding talent crystals *44. Ordinary physical skills crystals *189, excellent physical skills crystals 266, rare taijutsu crystals 109, excellent taijutsu crystals *38, ordinary kendo crystals *177, excellent kendo crystals *226, rare kendo crystals *81, excellent kendo crystals *32, have been stored with you space. Although there are only about 300 people, but it may not be a good harvest for Qingyun. Unfortunately, compared to the number of people in the Creek Pirates, it is still far behind. If he could have as many people as the Creek Pirates, his gains would be astonishing. Put your weapons away again. Qingyun thought this, then he stood up, collected all the pirates' weapons, and threw them into the portable space. The last time he was in Elegia, he also harvested 51 ordinary weapons, but this time he harvested them, 577 ordinary weapons, 291 sophisticated weapons, and 56 excellent weapons. The reason why he could get so many, of course, Qingyun found their warehouse, and there were a lot of weapons piled in it, so of course Qingyun accepted them all according to the order. Get up, this trip to Whiskey Peak, he really came at the right time, after getting so many things, it was really worth it. As for Nami and the others, of course you go and search for the trophies from these bounty hunters, these people naturally have some money. Also, the base built by these people here should also have some money, so Yuta followed Nami to search for money, and Qingyun solved this problem. After some guys, he sorted out all his gains and synthesized all the things that could be synthesized. Now for him, as long as it is not a legendary level ability crystal or something of this level, it will cost him to synthesize it. It doesn't take much effort, especially for some lower grade ability crystals, to synthesize hundreds of them at once, and it doesn't take much of his physical strength. The synthesis time did take a long time. However, this is all it was worth it. Because he synthesized a lot of perfect grade ability crystals, and also synthesized a legendary talent crystal. It was also a small gain. The key is that he synthesized all the weapons. It's so cool to watch. For novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. In the end, he got a good sharp knife out. So, in the process, he also took a perfect body crystal, restored his physical strength, and also improved after losing his own physique. He only had 2 of his perfect physique crystals left after using them like this. However, even if he used all the perfect physique crystals he had on hand now, he was still short of 4 crystals. Only perfect body crystals can make his body reach the level of a general. However, he synthesized 6 perfect soul crystals, and he had already swallowed 4 perfect soul crystals at this stage, so, again, after swallowing these 6 perfect soul crystals, his soul also transformed from the school level to the general level. This process is very wonderful. He cannot describe it in words. It seems that he feels everything in the world, but it only lasts. After a while, he withdrew from this state. As for other changes, it should be that he felt more energetic, and he also felt that his perception was more acute. Other than that, there was nothing. After that, he took the 5 perfect taijutsu crystals that he synthesized. The taijutsu was upgraded from school level to general level. His understanding of taijutsu became even more profound. Then he also took 5 perfect kendo crystals, which also he just raised the experience bar to 6, and there were still 4 perfect kendo crystals left to upgrade from a swordsman to a great swordsman. Finally, he synthesized the weapon of a good sharp knife grade and gave it directly as a material. 3rd generation Ghost Tetsu. In this regard, after the 3rd generation Ghost Tetsu was successfully synthesized, he also made a buzzing sound, seeming to express his excitement. Of course, Qingyun drew several good swords for the 3rd generation of Kitetsu. It is not the end of twisting. Big swords and supreme swords are nothing. As long as you follow him, these things are rubbish. You will be the only artifact in this world from now on. The pie passed. The 3rd generation ghost heard this. There is some excitement. It kept buzzing and screaming. Therefore, Qingyun also sheathed his sword neatly. Here. The matter was also dealt with cleanly. Shortly after, Nami and Yuta also came back with a bag of treasures. This was the result of these Baroque working societies for a long time. As a result, they were swept away by Nami and the others. Qingyun said that if these people knew about it in Huangquan, I'm afraid I might vomit blood. As for splitting accounts, Qingyun no longer cares. After all, Nami has been successfully captured by him. As for Yuta, the other party is on the ship now because food and accommodation are included, so there is no need to spend money at all. However, she also does not get any share. This is what she had agreed with the other party early on. From now on, the other party will be the #1 singer in the world. People. Therefore, he laid out the pie for the other party early on. He was cheating. No, it was what he said to Yuta. We won't give you a share because in the future you will hold concerts and release records, but it will cost a lot of money, so it's not that we won't give you a share. It's just that we will keep it for you temporarily. After we save enough money, we can send you records and hold concerts, you say so. Then. Yuta was fooled by him like this. But it's undeniable. He does send records and stuff to each other. Only. At that time, as long as the cost is invested, the return will be greater. Because of Yuta's own advantages. Being able to bring 70% of the entire pirate world into the Yuta world she created, one can imagine how popular Yuta's singing is. It was just on fire. Therefore, as long as the other party knows its own advantages, it can completely negotiate with Qingyun through this aspect and ask for a sufficient share. But Wuda, who was PUA'd by Qingyun, didn't think about this problem at all. The other party is still immersed in the pie that Qingyun drew for her, Zhao Liaohao, and can't extricate herself. And here things work out. The people have been chopped down. The money was also collected. This place is littered with corpses. He won't clean it up anyway, just leave. Then. When they are about to leave. Stop. Someone came and called out to them. Qingyun looked back. Hey, isn't this Princess Weiwei of the Alabasta Kingdom? Or rather, Nefertari di Weiwei. These days, she just jumps around from time to time. There is a person from the D family, but it is undeniable that the other party is indeed a great beauty. However, at this moment the other party arrives alone. There are two people, one wears a crown on his head and looks like a prince, especially the facial hair. Looking at the two knots built into the Arabic numeral 9, Qingyun was confused by each other's aesthetics. Mr. 9. Baroque Work, a mid-level agent of the agency, and his partner, it's Princess Vivi, who sneaked into Baroque Works, now codenamed Miss Wednesday. The other party's appearance, slightly hot. Qingyun looked at it and couldn't bear it at all. It's all Yuta's fault. Go to your own room and sleep alone. It's not like I won't arrange a room for you. You have to live in the same room with his woman during this period. As a result, he could only endure it. But, the more compressed the spring is, the more it rebounds. The same goes for men. Therefore, he felt very uncomfortable when he saw Weiwei wearing shorts and showing off her impressive figure. Thanks to Hun. For your update support. Thank you very much. Chapter 64. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The person who killed our Baroque working group still wants to leave. Mr. 9 shouted to Qingyun. As the first people who rushed here after getting the news, they were of course prepared to deal with Qingyun as soon as possible. Another one comes to die. Qingyun shook his head and said, although the opponent's strength is not that good, compared with him, it is incomparable, but mosquito meat is also meat, a sword flow ghost energy Jingja. He took action. In an instant, his figure was directly away from the opponent. The next moment, a head flew up directly, the headless body fell quietly, and the donated blood splashed all over the ground. Instant kill. Mr. 9's strength was really too weak in front of him, that's why he seemed so vulnerable. After finishing dealing with the opponent, the text of Goldfinger also appeared. Pickable items detected. Do you want to pick them up? Pick up. Ding. Successfully picked up. 4 rare body crystals, 3 rare soul crystals, 2 outstanding talent crystals, and 4 rare physical crystals have been stored in the portable space. Obtain some rare grade ability crystals and 2 excellent grade talent crystals. It's a pretty good harvest. And when he reaps. Aside, Weiwei was so frightened that she didn't dare to move at all, because Mr. 9 died too quickly in Qingyun's hands. Coming soon, she didn't dare to make any counterattack at this time, for fear that the other party would kill her instantly. But in the next moment, she clearly felt the cold feeling coming from her neck. Such coldness, it also made her react immediately. It was the other party who put the knife to his neck. No, 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 I surrender. Don't kill me, just say what you have to say. Weiwei simply chose to follow her heart and issued a surrender declaration. Talk. What else is there to talk about? Don't forget that you and your partner were preparing to attack us just now. Since we are all enemies, there is nothing more to say. Before you die, I still prefer your arrogant touch of calling 897 to stop me. So, please recover for a while, and then I will send you on your way. Qingyun said. Plop. Don't, misunderstanding, it's all a misunderstanding. In fact, I am not from the Baroque Works. I am the princess of the kingdom of Alabasta. The reason why I did this was to investigate the Baroque works that tried to provoke civil war and subvert the kingdom of Alabasta. Undercover, I'm not a bad person. Spare my life. Weiwei was so frightened that her legs weakened and she sat on the ground, but she still said quickly. She was afraid that Qingyun would kill her without giving her a chance to speak, but she just finished speaking. I see. I didn't expect you to be Princess Weiwei. It's really surprising. However, the princess undercover game ends here. Not far away, two figures walked up. Qingyun took a quick look. One was dressed like a rock singer, with a patterned symbol of 5 on the surface of his clothes, while the other was holding a yellow umbrella in his hand, and wearing a short dress with lemon slices on it. Mr. 5 and Mr. Valentine's Day. Weiwei's face turned even paler. She never thought that at this time, people from Baroque works would actually come, and they were also senior agents, so, for her now, it's really. Behind the wolf is the tiger. She was really desperate. However, Nami, who was already on the boat, blurted out the words immediately after seeing these two people. Qingyun, these two people have bounties on their bodies. The man's name is Gem, with a bounty of 10 million belly. The woman's name is Machida, with a bounty of 7 million belly. You must not let them go, tonight. Give you a reward. After saying that, Nami also blinked at Qingyun. This hint no longer needs to be elaborated in words. Hearing this, Qingyun felt that he was instantly more motivated. The last time he and Nami were happy has passed. For a long time, the reason why the other party avoided him was, firstly, it was because of Yuta, and secondly, because his body was too strong. In addition, it was Nami's first time. The other party cried for a long time. Really, it is strong and durable, so Nami used Yuta as a reason to avoid him. Tonight, he will regain his glory and make her dare not hide anymore. So, these two people are dead. Of course, even if Nami didn't say anything, he wouldn't let these two people go. After all, these two people are both ability users. Last time, he used 2 devil fruits to synthesize the epic dragon. Although he has not yet swallowed the fruit Phantom Beast Battle Greymon form crystal, it is still a real epic level ability crystal. So, who would dislike having so many ability crystals like this in his hands? Plus, the two of them are quite strong. At least they can drop a lot of higher grade ability crystals to him, therefore, he can't find a reason why the other person should not die. No problem, these two are dead. Qingyun responded with a smile. You are really arrogant. Do you think you are great just because you solved a bunch of garbage? In front of us, there is no difference between you and those rubbish. Mr. 5 said disdainfully, as a user with the ability of the explosive fruit, even though he has not yet used his ability to a high level, but he relies on the ability of the devil fruit. Compared with these abilities, he is only at the bottom of Baroque works. The rookie is already very powerful, therefore, he is also quite proud. It can be said that he looks down on these low-level combatants of the Baroque working society. It's really unpleasant. I'm actually looked down upon by others. Qingyun felt a little unhappy. If the ant walked by you, he would not pay attention to the other party at all. However, the ant walked by you and made provocative words to you. Then Qingyun said, I can't do this. Pretend he didn't see it, especially the devil fruit abilities of these two people. In his eyes, there is no doubt that children can get through the bustling city with gold. Especially, this child is not a good person, therefore, there is no need to let each other go. The ghost energy of sword flow is clear. Qingyun holds the knife with both hands and cuts out with one knife. The ghost energy is like the ghost energy of the netherworld, revealing the fatal and dangerous atmosphere everywhere. Mr. 5 can be said to have felt it in an instant threat to life. Booger Fantasy Canon. To read cool novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Mr. 5 popped out the booger he took out from his nostril. Under his devil fruit ability, this nose shit has turned into a powerful explosive. As long as it comes into contact, it will explode instantly. However, Qingyun certainly will not encounter it head-on. He avoided the opponent's attack. The next moment, he also appeared and he hit the opponent in front of him. He cut it off with one knife. Poof! A large amount of blood spattered directly from his wound. With just one knife, he could be said to be seriously injured directly. he did not expect that he would treat him as such. Qingyun, who is as powerful as a low-level member of Baroque works, only realized after the actual contact that the other party's strength is almost at the same level as that of a senior agent of Baroque works like him. Yes, he still thinks so far, I was careless and didn't pay attention to it. That's why it failed, air blast. At this time, he also tried to use the air he exhaled to turn into a bomb to deal with Qingyun's attack that continued to launch on him in an attempt to kill him. You are too slow. Qingyun said contemptuously. The third generation of Kitetsu in his hand was even faster. He chopped it down quickly. Mr. Five's attack didn't even have a chance to detonate, and his head just fell to the ground. Mr. Five of Baroque Works Company, Limited Jim, die. And next to Doraemon. Valentine, his heart skipped a beat when he saw Mr. Five being beheaded. Don't. What else did she want to say? But, Qingyun didn't give the other party any chance to speak. The ghost energy of a knife flow is clear. His attack directly harvested the opponent's life. The opponent may be beautiful, but he is not the kind of person who is so lustful that he can't move when he sees a beautiful woman. When it was his enemy, so what if she is a stunning beauty? Still going to hell, after dealing with these two people. Pickable items detected, do you want to pick them up? Pick up. Ding. Successfully picked up, rare physique crystals *2, excellent physique crystals *4, rare soul crystals *4. Excellent soul crystals *2, excellent talent crystals *2, perfect talent crystals *3, rare physical arts crystals *3. Excellent taijutsu crystals *5. The legendary superhuman explosive fruit crystal and the legendary superhuman light fruit crystal have been stored in the portable space. Qingyun's harvest this time was not particularly large, but it's not much. The most important thing is the two devil fruit ability crystals obtained from these two senior agents of Baroque works. Moreover, these two ability crystals are of legendary grade. If you want to synthesize it, it must not directly reach the epic level. Certainly, it's impossible to say for sure. But, he personally is looking forward to it, but he really couldn't think of anything that would be produced by combining the light fruit and the explosive fruit. Especially, the synthesis result of his golden finger was proved last time. The synthesis of this golden finger, it doesn't follow much logic at all. Therefore, if it is synthesized according to his normal thoughts, the synthesized thing may not be what he expected. Therefore, he decided to let it go first. At least, in his opinion, the ability of light fruits and explosive fruits is really incompatible. If it is the result of synthesis, not what he meant, so, he must not cry to death. Things are temporarily stored in the portable space. Qingyun didn't take it out either. His gaze, it also fell on Weiwei, which made the latter tense up and extremely nervous, because Qingyun has already shown his strength. In addition to easily killing her companion Mr. 9, she also easily killed Mr. 5 and his partner Mr. Valentine. If Qingyun only solved her partner, that's just some strength, but he solved Mr. 5 and his partner. This is a senior agent, and he was killed so easily. This strength is not just a little bit strong, but a little bit stronger. So, when she saw Qingyun looking towards her, she was naturally extremely nervous, dead or alive. Now, just between the other person's thoughts. Now, I give you two choices. First, I kill you. I choose to. After hearing this, Weiwei directly stated her choice anyway. She didn't want to die, so she decisively eliminated the first option, leaving only the second option for her to choose. Very wise choice. Qingyun was also stunned by the other party's quick answer, but he immediately reacted and said with a smile. So, what's the second option? Weiwei also showed curious eyes and asked. She was anxious to survive just now, so she didn't have the patience to listen to Qingyun's words and made a choice directly. Now, she wants to know what the choice she just made was. Work for me for free for 20 years, or, as the princess of the kingdom of Alabasta, just pay 5 billion belly to buy your life. Qingyun sheathed the third-generation ghost sword and showed a bright smile to Weiwei. However, the words he said made Weiwei's face look ashen and despair. 20 years. She is now 20 years old, wouldn't she be 38 years old in 20 years? If she really wants to work for the other party for 20 years, most of her life has passed. if she takes 5 billion Baileys, doesn't she know how much money the kingdom of Alabasta has? Just because it is clear, therefore, she knew that her only choice seemed to be to work for the other party. Thanks to Dark Knight today for your monthly ticket support. Thank you very much. Chapter 65. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Why, you don't seem too happy about it. Otherwise, I'd better send you on your way. Qingyun put his hand on the handle of the knife. No, I'm very happy to be able to work for you for 20 years. Weiwei's sad face also quickly squeezed out a smile, but when she said the last few words, she almost gritted her teeth. It was too much to bully others, it was really too much to bully others. The other party was completely squeezing her. 20 years, when she gets to that age, she won't be a shameless woman. However, facing this situation, she has no choice but to accept it with a strong face and a smile. Her life is in the hands of the other party, she really doesn't want to dare to move. Don't dare to move. Keep up. After Qingyun put the bodies of Mr. Five and Mr. Valentine into his personal space, he took the lead to board the ship. Weiwei, who heard what the other party said, had no choice but to follow him and board the ship obediently. Let's go. Qingyun said. The record pointer is also recorded. Let's set off towards the next island. Nami also said with a smile. She gained a lot from this trip, so she was also very happy. However, not long after setting off. Princess, Your Highness the Princess. Not far away, a figure with strange curly hair chased him on the shore. He was a Kamen, the captain of the Alabasta Kingdom Guard. He saw that the person he was supposed to protect was taken away. How could this be possible? Let him not be anxious. However, the boat has already left the shore and is gradually moving away. Even if he wants to chase it, he is unable to do so. Ikaram, I'm fine, don't worry. Weiwei, who was on the boat, also heard Ikaram shout, and shouted at the other party to prove her safety. Ikaram on the shore seemed to have heard what Weiwei shouted. After knowing that Weiwei was still safe, his tense face relaxed. Although he had just arrived, he didn't know who took Princess Weiwei away, but he knew that Princess Weiwei, after the safety of Princess Weiwei, at least he doesn't have to worry so much. As for the identity of the person who took away Princess Weiwei, he also needs to find out quickly. Only after confirming the identity of the person who took away Princess Weiwei, can he know the identity of the person who took away Princess Weiwei. Only if he is a good person or a bad person can he feel at ease. On board, they were some distance away from Whiskey Peak. It is impossible to look back. Qingyun said that he does not like to go back. Next, it's time to cook for you. Then, he also set his sights on Weiwei and said, I have been willing to work for you for 20 years, please don't kill me. Weiwei said that she was extremely scared. This was the person who killed a bunch of members of the Baroque working group in Whiskey Peak. Moreover, he also killed the mid-level agents and senior agents of the Baroque working group. While he was powerful, he was also extremely decisive in his actions. Can be said to be merciless. That Mr. Valentine was killed mercilessly by the other party. She didn't think that her charm could be so great that this ruthless man would show mercy. Relax, don't be so nervous, I'm not a bad person. Qingyun said. Yes, you are right. After Weiwei heard this, she nodded her head and said, How are you a bad person? You are just a black-hearted capitalist. If I fall into your hands, just ask me to work for you for free for 20 years, bullying is not a crime. Such bullying. After hearing this, Qingyun said, was this silly girl scared into a fool by him? Princess Weiwei, do you want to know who is the boss behind Baroque Works? Qingyun asked with a smile. Do you know who it is? Who is it? Tell me who it is. Weiwei's eyes immediately lit up. Why did she sneak into Baroque Works and work as an undercover agent for so long? Isn't it just to find out who is the boss behind Baroque Works who is trying to subvert their Alabasta kingdom? That's why she, after spending so much energy to sneak in. As a result, Qingyun Ziyang seemed to know who the person behind Baroque Works was when he opened his mouth. How could she not want to know? No. However, you feel that you are a prisoner now. What price can you pay? Qingyun's eyes scanned the other party. This made Weiwei's face turn pale. could it be that she wanted to sell her body? Don't worry, I'm not the kind of person you think. I'm not a pirate, so I won't force you. If you want to know, then go check it out yourself. However, you have to work here for me for 20 years. Qingyun said slowly. Hearing this, Weiwei couldn't even smile on her face. 20 years, the kingdom of Alabasta is afraid that it will fall apart in less than a year. It is even very possible that the country will be destroyed, so, let alone 20 years, 1 year, no, even half a year, whether she can survive it is a question. She wants to ask Qingyun for help, but, in her current situation as a prisoner, help her. That's not realistic. Just keep going. Qingyun said. The ship started to move forward. As for Weiwei, he was not worried about the other party's escape at all. After all, on the sea of this great route, escape. The ship was just theirs. How could the other party escape? How could he defeat them? It's nonsense. Even if he is not involved, Nami and Yuta are not something she can deal with. After all, the two women have eaten the ability crystals he gave them, and they are not weak in strength. A few days later, their ship also arrived at the small garden. Certainly, to be precise, this place should be called the Ancient Island, because this island still retains the appearance of the dinosaur era. Many beasts and animals are relatively huge, just like a giant's garden, so it is also called the Small Island. Garden, what is he doing here in the little garden? Of course not here to kill anyone, although Domli and Brokey are both giants, and they are also rewarded by the Navy, but the world government used the capture of these two people as an excuse to trick the giants into guarding the gate. Certainly, he didn't care. The main reason why he came to the little garden, it's because he needs to fight. It can be said that his strength has been improved to this point in a short period of time. Even, it only took a few months to achieve such strength, but if you continue to improve your strength, it will obviously be quite difficult. Especially, he read the training manuals for armed color hockey and wisdom color hockey given to him by Smoker for some time. During this time, he also tried hard to cultivate hockey on his own, but it turns out, disaster. Even if his talent has now reached the emperor level, but it would be strange if hockey could be cultivated in these 10 days and a half. Unless, it might still be possible for his talent to be raised to a level above the imperial level, just currently. To read Baoshuang novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. It is too difficult for him to rely on his own practice to learn domineering, so he thought about it when he entered Upside Down Mountain. Stay here temporarily for a while. He thinks, hard to learn on your own. The fundamental reason is that he lacks pressure, stress from combat. Although the strength of Dongli and Brockie is not that exaggerated, it is not weak at all. The giant race itself, because of his huge body and physique, he has strength far beyond that of ordinary people. The strength of the fishman is 10 times that of ordinary people. Compete in front of the giants. The strength of other people from the giant race is 100 times that of your fishmen race. So, even if Tori and Brokey don't know armament hockey and wisdom hockey, they still have full combat experience after fighting for a century, and the physique of their giant clan, based on the fact that these two people have been his sparring partners for a period of time. That's inevitable. It can bring him a lot of improvement. He believes it, with the blessing of his current emperor-level talent. If there is more pressure to squeeze him, his strength will definitely improve a lot in a short time. If it can be improved a lot, it can even save a lot. Consumption of ability crystals. Therefore, he also took Nami and 3 people to the island. As for the boat, receive it directly in the portable space anyway. His carry-on space is large, and a lot of things can be put in it. Therefore, he doesn't have to worry about food and water, because he has prepared so much food and water in his portable space, and the food and water he puts in his portable space are fixed by time, so there is no need to worry about expiration. In the next period of time, I need to stay here temporarily for 10 days. At that time, we will go directly to the kingdom of Alabasta to meet the red-haired Shanks. Qingyun explained to the people around him. I don't have any problem. Point 0 Please give me flowers 0 Nami nodded in agreement. Me too. The same goes for Yuta. Needless to say, the dangers of the Grand Route, she can be said to have seen it for all, so they mostly relied on Qingyun's existence along the way. Otherwise, they would have been doomed by the time they reached Whiskey Peak. I also. Your opinion doesn't matter. Wei Wei wanted to speak, but was immediately interrupted by Qingyun. Just as he said, during this period, Wei Wei acted as a maid on their ship, basically doing laundry, cooking, sweeping the floor, etc. She was the one to complete it. After all, the other party had to work for him for free for 20 years, otherwise, he had to pay for it. Cruel. Sorry, the other party was planning to work with the people of Baroque works to regard him as a target. If he did not have the strength, then he is the one who is finished, so this is not cruel at all. After all, compared to other people in the Baroque work club, she can survive this treatment. In fact, it is good to meet her, but Wei Wei felt like her lungs were going to explode. After all, she is also a princess of a country, but he doesn't take her seriously. During this time, she did all the laundry, cooking and cleaning. When had she ever done such a thing? Wronged, but I couldn't find anyone to talk to. I can only hold it in. The affairs of the kingdom of Alabasta were also delayed due to matters at home. She was anxious but had no choice but to do anything. Plus, this guy Qingyun is simply not a human being, so full of energy in the middle of the night. The sound insulation effect on this ship is not that good. Basically all the sounds that should be heard were heard. Especially, if it rings continuously, it will start in 5 hours. TMD, that is that human being. It's simply a beast, so much so, in the past few days, she had been looking at Qingyun with evasive eyes. It was scary, so scary. Fortunately, the other party just brought her back as a maid. If the other party attacks her, how could she, a yellow-flowered girl, withstand such an onslaught? A knife flowing with ghost energy awakens the insects. Qingyun easily killed a huge dinosaur that was attacking them. Although this dinosaur has a huge body, but for Qingyun, who has already become a swordsman, it is just a matter of one blow. After all, no matter how huge the body of a dinosaur is, it cannot be stronger than steel. Moreover, after becoming a swordsman and understanding the realm of the breath of all things need to be done. What can be cut is not just steel, but everything. Just in time, put it away and eat barbecue when the time comes. Qingyun also stretched out his hand and took this huge dinosaur into his portable space. The only pity is that after experiments, his golden finger will only drop ability crystals when killing strong people, like killing some ordinary animals does not drop ability crystals. Unless it is an animal that has eaten a devil fruit, then it will drop the ability crystals of the devil fruit ability. Otherwise, during the time he was in the small garden, they must kill the entire small garden. Ruthlessly, and they searched in the small garden for a long time. Finally, after spending several hours, Qingyun also killed dozens of huge dinosaurs, and finally they found traces of the giant. Of course, it can also be said that they smelled the smell of barbecue, so they came looking for the aroma of barbecue. Only then did they find it. The huge body was hundreds of times larger than that of an ordinary person. And they were discovering each other. The other party also discovered them. Card, bar. Humanity. It's actually a human being. I haven't seen a human being in a long time. Brocky held the dinosaur barbecue in one hand and said to them with a smile. Barbecue, if you don't mind, can you add me a seat? I can trade it for wine. Qingyun said happily. How could he come without preparing drinks? For these giants who haven't drank for who knows how many years, using wine to get closer to each other is undoubtedly the best way, so that he can open his mouth better and let the other person become his training target. Thanks to Demon King CWK for the 588 VIP reward. Thank you very much. Because the last chapter has been modified a bit after the update, there may be a few pretty boys and girls who subscribed early and didn't see it. The modified content, so if you don't see it, you pretty boys and girls, please refresh a few times and you should be able to see it. Sorry. 6. Chapter 66. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Card, bar. It would be really nice if there was wine. I haven't had wine in a long time. When Brocky heard this, he laughed with joy from the bottom of his heart. He and Dongli had been fighting on this island for a century, and some pirates or people who coveted them came here, and some when he meets one or two people he can talk to, he can drink wine. When he meets some people who come with bad intentions, he can still drink wine after dealing with them, but the number of times is less, so, every time he could drink wine, he was very happy. Qingyun also took out barrels of wine from his portable space, he picked it up casually, and there were hundreds of bottles of wine. However, this barrel of wine was in the cloth. In Loki's eyes, it certainly looked a bit minuscule. This is barbecue, and by the way, human, I haven't asked your name yet. Brocky placed a huge piece of bone-in barbecue in front of Qingyun, and spread a huge leaf on the ground to prevent it from getting stained. Qingyun. Qingyun said. I am the strongest warrior in Elbaf village, Brocky, let's get it. Brocky also laughed and said. Cheers to our friendship. Qingyun took out a bottle of wine and said to Brocky. Card, bar. Well said, cheers to our friendship. Brocky didn't have any vigilance. He laughed, opened the lid of the wine barrel, and drank happily. Although it was small, the taste was something he hadn't tasted for a long time, which made him miss it very much. Barbecue pairing good wine, this meal was quite enjoyable. While 627 was eating, Qingyun was also chatting with each other. The relationship between the two was also getting better. After meal, only then did Qingyun reveal his purpose of coming. Brocky, the purpose of my coming to the small garden this time is actually to find you. Qingyun said. Us? Are you here to see me and Dongli? Are you here for our heads too? Brocky thought for a moment and asked. Many people who came to the small garden came just for his and Dongli's heads. Therefore, when he mentioned that the other party came for them, he subconsciously said, thinking that the other party is here for his and Dongli's heads. No. Qingyun shook his head. Although your bounty is quite high, and I happen to be a bounty hunter, the purpose of my visit this time is not for the bounty. I came to the small garden to find an opponent. Qingyun said seriously to the other party. Opponent? So this is When Brocky heard this, he immediately let out his unique laughter. But this won't work. I still want to compete with Dongli. I'm afraid I can't be your opponent. He also refused. Now, he has been fighting Dongli for 100 years, and the signal of the volcanic eruption does not know when it will suddenly come, so he needs to prepare his own for the battle at all times. Status. As for being Qingyun's opponent, this is unlikely. Hearing this, Qingyun also frowned. From the cliché just now, he also learned a lot. They used the volcanic eruption as a battle signal. The key is, there is sometimes the volcano doesn't erupt once every 3 to 5 days, but sometimes, the volcano will erupt 3 or 5 times in a day. This is completely uncertain and a very random thing. Fortunately, he was a little prepared. Then I will use a piece of information to make a deal with you and Dongli. Qingyun said. Card, bar. If you want to use wine, treasures or other things to trade with us, forget it. This battle is sacred, so we will not agree to it. Brocky said. So what if you, the giant soldier pirates, were worried that you, the two leaders, would be deceived while searching for you and have been serving as guards for others for 50 years? Qingyun slowly opened his mouth and said. What? When Brocky heard this, his eyes widened and he was furious. Someone dared to deceive the giants and was deceived into being a guard for 50 years. How could he endure such a thing? Those two members of the giant soldier pirates were deceived by the people of the world government. They deceived them with the lie that the two of you had been arrested. Your name is Casey, and there is another one named Oyamo. They are now in the world government's island of justice is the gatekeeper there. Qingyun said directly. World government. Damn world government. How dare you deceive my compatriots? Brocky was furious. Then, he quickly stood up. Qingyun, thank you for telling me this matter. You are a distinguished guest of our giant clan. Please wait here. I need to go to Dongli to talk about this matter. After he said this to Qingyun, he quickly walked in the other direction. In Qingyun's eyes, every step the other party took caused a little misery to the land. The giant race is born with Julie is really unmatched by ordinary people. However, it also has shortcomings, that is, in terms of doing things, they tend to use muscles to solve any problems. In the long run, they rarely use their brains to think about problems. Is he leaving now? You should only tell them half of the information, and then wait until the other party agrees to your request before telling them the remaining half of the information. Nami said, if she were to trade with the other party, she would definitely do this. No, they will help. Qingyun also smiled and shook his head, then took out a knife and a plate, cut the huge barbecue into pieces and put it on the plate. Come on, Nami, open your mouth. He also fed Nami. Nami naturally started eating with a smile. Suddenly, the dog food can be said to be free of charge bag after bag. Next to him, Yuta looked at the two with envy. People, as for Wei Wei. She shifted her gaze and started to work honestly. It's okay not to eat this dog food, she was very tired during this period. She was cleaning, washing, and mopping the floor. The other party does not regard her as a human being at all. So her daily consumption is an astonishing number, therefore, she usually eats more, just because she consumes too much. Dry rice, dry rice, dry rice. All she can think about is this barbecue. Shortly after, the ground seemed to be shaking, the astonishing sound of the landing also gradually became louder. The two giants were walking slowly towards here. Even if it was just a small step for them, it would be a staggering distance. This is it. Brocky and Dongli, the two of them also came over, and after a while, they came and sat down. Gia. To read exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Are you the friend Brocky mentioned? I am Dongli, the strongest warrior in Elbaf village, Dongli also said with a smile. Dongli, what are you talking about? I am the strongest warrior in Elbaf village. Upon hearing this, Brocky also said unconvinced. Brocky, I am the strongest warrior in Elbaf village, don't you agree? Then let's have a fight, Dongli said. For a moment, the atmosphere became tense. Can you stop the fighting between you and listen to me? Qingyun said. Hearing this, the two of them also stopped what they were doing and turned to look at them. I'm talking too much, and I don't think you're good at listening, so I'll just say something simple. You two members of the giant soldier pirates were deceived by the world government into serving as guards on Judiciary Island for 50 years. According to their agreement, the world government will release you after 100 years. But this is obviously a lie, but if you don't go and save them personally, I'm afraid they will always be kept in the dark. Brocky, Dongli, do you think your glory is more important, or your companions? Qingyun said to the two of them seriously, it's too big of a deal, these two people will probably not care. Therefore, when he talks to the other party, he directly focuses on the emotional aspect. As the two members of the giant soldier pirates, a leader, will the other party really be indifferent to the fact that his compatriots and partners have been guarded by the world government for 50 years after being deceived? Dongli. Brocky. Let's call it a truce. I have the same idea. Zero. Card, bar. The world government dares to deceive our great warrior of the giant race. Dongli, can you bear it? Gia. Brocky, let us start again. Rescue our deceived compatriots, and turn the world upside down. Brocky and Dongli also let out their unique laughter and said, at this moment, they temporarily put down their honor as warriors. Their compatriots were deceived because of them. How can they continue here? Continue fighting indifferently? Qingyun boy, we agree to your request. Let us serve as your opponents to repay you for telling us this matter. Brocky said. Me too. Dongli also replied, since he has been fighting for 100 years, he naturally doesn't care about such a few days. Thank you very much. Qingyun said with a smile on his face, isn't this the purpose of his coming here? There are two people who are at the general level. Even in terms of strength and skills alone, the strength of these two people is even greater than that of these two people in the past 100 years. In a short period of time, they have reached the level of a lieutenant general, not to mention that the two of them can also combine attack skills, Overlord. In a short period of time, they can burst out the power of a general, so, with his current strength, he is definitely no match for these two people, but that's exactly what it is. He was even more happy, because now he feels that what he lacks is pressure. It is precisely because of the lack of pressure, that's why he felt that he had not learned his domineering power for a long time. Therefore, he needs this pressure to improve himself. Qingyun boy, we will not show mercy. Brocky said with a laugh. Can't get it. Qingyun replied confidently. You are really confident. Dongli also laughed loudly. Then, in the next 10 days, a war broke out here in the small garden. For Qingyun, this can be said to be a very tiring battle. But at the same time, for him generally speaking, it was also a huge battle that improved his strength. Under the hands of two giants with the strength of lieutenant generals, his emperor-level talent was immediately discovered. For him, after every battle, his strength can be said to be improving at a speed visible to the naked eye. However, even so, of course it is impossible for him to not suffer any injuries in these 10 days. Fortunately, he is perfect. Body crystals. Although the quantity is not much, it can be said to be miraculous when used to restore one's physical strength. What's more, after each use, it not only improves one's own strength, but also improves one's own body by 0.7 liters. He has it on hand originally. He had 3 perfect physique crystals. But after the 10 days of training, he no longer had a perfect physique crystal on hand. All of them were used up by him. However, these 10 days of training, the training time also allowed him to get what he wanted. And on the 10th day, a certain princess found the right opportunity when Nami and Yuta were sleeping together. She sneaked in quietly at 10 o'clock in the night. He went into someone's room and everything that shouldn't have happened happened. And how could Qingyun refuse such a thing that came to his door? The next day, Qingyun and Weiwei both woke up. The latter shyly tightened the sheets to cover his body. You were quite bold yesterday, why did you shrink back today? Qingyun looked at the other party playfully and said. Upon hearing this, Weiwei also blushed. Yesterday was yesterday. She drank a large bottle of wine yesterday to strengthen herself, so she had the courage. Now, she is completely sober. Came over. Naturally, I was very shy. I won't tease you anymore. No matter what your purpose is, but from today on, you are my woman. Qingyun looked at the other party seriously and said. Weiwei huddled up under the quilt and made a sound like a mosquito. Thank you for your monthly ticket support. Thank you very much. Chapter 67. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yo. With a bright smile, I was very happy yesterday. As soon as he came out, he bumped into Nami at the door. This made Qingyun very embarrassed. Nami, I took the initiative yesterday. If you are angry, just hit me. Weiwei also walked out, looking a little scared, but she still stood up and said. On the side, Qingyun felt his scalp numb. Damn. This is a sure field. However, he still walked forward. Protect Weiwei behind you. After all, the other party is already his woman. If he stands and does nothing at this time, he is not considered a man. It's cheaper for you. Nami's performance was not as angry as Qingyun thought. Instead, she rolled her eyes at Qingyun and said. Seeing this, Qingyun just smiled dryly. The other party did not take action, which is undoubtedly a good thing. I don't know who you are. I think you had an idea when you asked the other party to get on the boat. Nami said. Qingyun remained silent. If he said no, he just didn't believe it, but to say there is, that was probably an act of looking for a fight. But, what needs to be said still needs to be said. Your status in my heart is the same. Qingyun directly hugged the two of them, one by one, and said. Flowery radish. Nami put on an expression of disgust, but Weiwei next to her didn't say anything. She just kept her head down, as silent as a dull gourd. Okay, go take a shower quickly, you smell good all over. Nami said. Then together. Qingyun directly hugged the two of them and went over together. On board, it was shaking for a while again. That's when it stopped. But, someone on the boat was in a very bad mental state. Damn it, I spent so much time yesterday night and it wasn't enough. I continued it in broad daylight. I'm really a big pervert. After the movement on the ship stopped, Yuta also expressed her dissatisfaction with Qingyun's behavior. However, she obviously did not have the courage to go to Qingyun in person to protest. After some washing, Qingyun and the other three finally came out. It's time for them to set out today. Training has ended. Next, he is about to go to the kingdom of Alabasta to get the ransom from the red hair. Card, bar, bar, bar. Qingyun boy, see you later. Brocky also waved his hand and said. Gia. Let's have a drink together next time. Dongli also shouted to Qingyun loudly, and waved goodbye at the same time. On the boat, Qingyun also waved goodbye to the two of them, although, he is a bounty hunter. He makes a living from pirate bounties, but for him. In fact, this job is just the career he finally decided on after eliminating some mundane and boring jobs and some careers that were not suitable for him. Although he relied on bounty hunters to hunt some sea, the thief's bounty makes money, but he will not be swayed by this identity, just like Garp. The other party is because the justice he carries is too heavy, so when he faces the war, he wants to take action, but he was overwhelmed by the justice on his shoulders and couldn't move. Therefore, in the end, he just watched Ace being killed, although, Ace's death was purely caused by the other party, but it is undeniable, Garp can only watch this because of his identity, which is undoubtedly very painful. Of course he will not be like Garp, at least, if the world government dares to attack the people around him, he will directly kill the world government dog claw. The world government is too awesome to mess with. Come on, I have a cheating finger in labor and management, give me some time to accumulate 5 old stars. One of the 20 kings who is alive today. How about cutting them all to the extreme? Sure. Brocky, we are truly witnessing the birth of a monster. Dongli said, there was some lingering fear in his eyes. Yes, there will be another powerful monster in this sea. Brocky also said with emotion, if he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he really wouldn't believe that someone could get such a big improvement in 10 days. Among the people they had seen, this kind of improvement was the best. There are very few existences, and among these very few people, there is no one who can compare with Qingyun. It seems that the grand route is about to become more lively. A monster who becomes a bounty hunter will have an impact on the sea. Dongli said. The era of great pirates opened by Roger One Piece. A bounty hunter who enters the Grand Line is like a tiger among sheep. What's more, this bounty hunter is a monster-like existence. Brocky said, he witnessed Qingyun's growth in just 10 days, with his more than 150 years of experience. This kind of growth rate is a monster. Because of this, they feel lucky. Fortunately, they can actually see it with their own eyes. Witness the growth of a monster. On board, the sea where their ship was sailing away from the small garden suddenly began to surge at this moment. Come yet? Qingyun's eyes also condensed, and he walked towards the bow of the ship. After a turbulence on the sea, his huge body was revealed in front of Qingyun and others. The faces of Nami and others immediately turned pale. It's over. It's over. I'm still so young, I don't want to die. I haven't become the world's #1 singer yet, am I going to die here? The feeling of facing such a huge monster head-on is really not something ordinary people can bear. Therefore, even Nami and the other 3 were frightened by the island-eating monster in front of them. Island-eating monster. A giant goldfish that feeds exclusively on islands. The Straw Hat Pirates successfully passed the level because of the hegemony exerted by Brocky and Tori. But he doesn't need the help of Brocky and Dongli. Little thing, go back. Qingyun also took a step forward, his eyes shrank suddenly, and the next moment, the Overlord's domineering energy burst out from his body, and they all pressed towards the island-eating monster in front of him. 1 second later. The island-eating monster rolled his eyes on the spot. To read exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Under the impact of the Overlord's domineering aura, the opponent immediately fainted, and his huge body fell on the water, causing a stir huge waves, except for him who quickly took out a big umbrella to block the waves. The other 3 women were directly wet by the waves. They directly showed off their excellent figures. Qingyun said, earned it, it's not a loss. That's what he thought in his heart. But he still took out the towel from his portable space and wiped it with several people. However, this was obviously a drop in the bucket. Moreover, Qingyun also took advantage of it. The 3 women also glared at Qingyun, and then walked directly towards the bathroom on the ship. What else to wipe? Their whole bodies were wet by the spray. It would be much easier to go directly to take a shower, then, Qingyun also thought secretly. I remember this period of time refining, although it is only 10 days. To him, the improvement is quite huge. Especially, during the battle with Brokey and Dongli, he felt the threat to his life and activated the Overlord Haki. Then, the Armed Haki and the Wisdom Haki were activated one after another, 3 colors of domineering. He had it all. Only after activating the Overlord Color Haki did he realize how important it was to improve the level of his soul. Because, when he turned on the level of Overlord Color and Dominance, it's just the domineering look of a lieutenant-level person. His domineering power has evolved from the initial, lieutenant-level domineering power, 0/10, to the current school-level domineering power, 5 out of 10. This growth is inseparable from the strength of his own soul. Just as a strong body will make the physical skills and swordsmanship performed by oneself more powerful, his soul is powerful, and it also provides growth for Overlord's domineering energy, making Overlord's domineering energy even more powerful. That's exactly what it is. After awakening from the Overlord Color Haki on the 2nd day, until today, his domineering aura has grown to the current school level. He has been able to control the Overlord's domineering energy freely. However, it is still not that easy to be entangled with the Overlord's domineering energy. It may require another improvement in the level of his Overlord's domineering energy. Also, his other 2 domineering powers, the Sergeant-level Armed Color Domineering, 0/10, the Lieutenant-level Armed Color Domineering, 4/10, the Sergeant-level Armed Color Domineering, 0/10, the Lieutenant-level Knowledgeable and Domineering, 1/10, are all from the Sergeant level. Promoted to the rank of lieutenant, same thing. It was a huge improvement in a short period of time, and his general-level physical skills were improved by 1 experience point within 10 days of practice. The same is true for his swordsmanship, which has been improved by 1 experience point. His swordsmanship is at the level of a swordsman, the distance is upgraded to the level of a great swordsman. Then there are still 2 experience points left. As for the rest, basically there is no improvement. The improvement in physical fitness was mainly due to the fact that he took all 3 perfect physical crystals. Of course, it was not that his training during this period was useless to him. It could only be said that he did not have that long to wait for the improvement of experience points. Braki and Tori just agreed to fight against Toka, therefore, he could only seize this opportunity and not want to waste a second. After all, there are very few people who are superior to him in strength and fighting skills. I can't even invite this kind of person as a sparring partner. How could he let his body injured in the battle hold him back? So he used the perfect body crystal. The harvest is abundant. Now, all his powers exploded together, and he could unceremoniously say that his strength had reached the level of a major general. Here, after the island-eating monster is dealt with, they sailed successfully. Shortly after, the 3 girls also came out of the bathroom. Wei Wei, do you want to improve your strength? He asked directly. What? Wei Wei's head obviously hasn't reacted yet. If you want to improve your strength, I have a Phantom Beast Devil Fruit here that is just right for you to take. Qingyun said. Fantasy beast species. Wei Wei's eyes widened. Others don't know about Devil Fruit, how can she still not know about it? Her family, the adjutant of the Alabasta Kingdom's escort team, is a person with ability 610 in the form of the animal bird fruit falcon, so, she also knows a lot of knowledge. Among them, it includes the knowledge of devil fruit. Therefore, she is well aware of the power of the Phantom Beast Devil Fruit. If this thing is thrown on the market, the price will start at least 5 billion Baileys. After all, devil fruits are really priceless, and coupled with the preciousness of fantasy beast species, this price is actually a low price. If it were to be auctioned, people who wanted to buy it could even ask for tens of billions. The price comes, although, she only realized how powerful Qingyun is after seeing Qingyun training these days. In addition, the other party is also a bounty hunter. It can be regarded as a legitimate profession, so, she used her brain and directly faced Qingyun carried out a night attack. He wanted to use this relationship to tie the other party and let the other party help his kingdom of Alabasta. He wanted the other party to tell him who the boss behind the Baroque Company, Limited was and to help him save the kingdom of Alabasta. But unexpectedly, as soon as Qingyun made a move, he was ready to give her a Phantom Beast Devil Fruit, which really flattered her. Now, give this phantom beast devil fruit to Nami. I don't have to fight, and it doesn't matter if I don't eat it. Wei Wei gritted her teeth and prepared to give the phantom beast devil fruit given by Qingyun to Nami. After all, she was the one who intervened later, so she felt a little embarrassed to take it directly like this, but... No need, that phantom beast devil fruit is not suitable for me, Qingyun said. He will help me find one more suitable for me in the future. Nami shook her head and said, he learned from Qingyun that when the ability of the phantom beast devil fruit is used, it may cause dragon transformation. For a beauty-loving person like her, she simply refused. Qingyun, otherwise, would this devil fruit still be there till now? It would have been eaten by her long ago. This is a devil fruit power crystal. It is something created by my ability. You can eat it directly and you will get the power of dragon fruit phantom beast fighting Greymon form. Regarding the side effects of devil fruit skin, I have also eliminated them, so you can eat them with confidence. Qingyun also took out the epic dragon fruit fantasy beast type fighting Greymon form crystal and gave it to Wei Wei and explained it. After hearing this, she also picked up the crystal and opened her mouth to take it directly. There was no trace of movement in her movements. Hesitation, this was her trust in Qingyun. At the same time, this devil fruit ability crystal melted into her mouth after entering it. She also became a battle violent after swallowing this devil fruit ability crystal. Dragon Beast ability user. Thanks to 15825 for your monthly ticket support. Thank you very much. Chapter 68. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Roar. Wei Wei looked up to the sky and roared, and the surface of her body also changed. On her original clothes, there was a glow. The light is very dazzling. Qingyun and others could only watch with squinted eyes. After a while, the brilliance blooming on the other party also dissipated completely. Now, Wei Wei is wearing armor, which is made of the supermetal chronic digitalloy. However, it is almost the same as the armor worn by Battle Greymon. However, there are still some differences, and that is this: the chronic digizoid armor perfectly suits Wei Wei, showing off her good figure, especially the lower body. Originally, Battle Greymon's lower body is covered with chronic digizoid armor, but when it comes to Wei Wei, it is dressed like King Arthur and Artoria in Fate, with the chronic digizoid attached to the lower body of Wei Wei. The surface of the skirt is much more beautiful. Besides, her head was already covered by a helmet made of time digizoid, but this helmet also changed to fit Wei Wei's face. The three-pointed helmets completely covered Wei Wei's face. Hidden, in addition, her arms are equipped with the Dragon Beast Bane, which has special attacks against dragons, and the Shield of Courage behind her. That's all her changes. It seems that the effect is good. Qingyun's eyes lit up and he said, the other party did not appear to be transformed into a dragon. Except that the armor perfectly fit the clothes she was wearing and adhered to the surface, just like putting on another layer of armor outside the clothes. Generally, I feel full of strength now. Wei Wei felt the power of her body and said, if she stood in front of her before, she felt that she could beat 100 of her previous selves without any problem. It was too strong. Especially her physique, she felt after he swallowed the dragon fruit phantom beast fighting Greymon form. His body has been greatly improved, and it is no longer comparable to his previous self. You have just gained the ability and you still need time to adapt. I will help you adapt. Qingyun said. Now you put your abilities away first. He also guided the other party to put away his abilities. Under his guidance, in a short time, Wei Wei was able to put away and release his abilities. After that, he slowly guided Wei Wei to use the battle Tyrannosaurus Rex. The ability of the beast fruit, this obviously requires enough time to teach the other party. Fortunately, Qingyun has this time. On the way to the kingdom of Alabasta, there is still plenty of time. Time flies, they are heading to Alabasta. A while has passed on the road to Stan Kingdom. There are only 3 days left before the date agreed with Red Hair. During this time, Wei Wei's strength has also been improved a lot. Originally, the opponent's weak physique actually made an astonishing breakthrough in this short period of time. He really didn't know what to say. At this moment, the dragon fruit phantom beast species fought against the devil fruit in the form of Greymon. The effect was very good. Or should we say that the other party's talent is so strong that it improved so quickly? Of course. He didn't believe the latter. After all, with Weiwei's talent, if he really had an amazing talent, would the other party be captured alive by him? So. The eighth achievement is the effect brought by the devil fruit. It can make Weiwei, whose body is only at the soldier level, be greatly improved in a short period of time, and even make her body reach the level of a captain, which makes him he was very surprised in his heart. He also sighed. The effect of an epic-level fantasy beast devil fruit is really amazing. However, he still has no idea of eating it. Because the level is too low. He can't guarantee it. After eating one devil fruit power crystal, he could continue to eat the second and third crystals, so he gave up the ability to fight Greymon devil fruit. Besides, what he wanted should be it is a higher-level devil fruit with more abilities. Now that he has the ability to synthesize it, why should he be tied up by a fighting Greymon fruit? After all, he has to get a bunch of abilities into one devil fruit. And then upgrade the level of the devil fruit to a god level above the epic, which is consistent with his identity. Therefore, he chose to give the battle Greymon fruit to Nami. Unfortunately, Nami does not like this. He has a melee-type devil fruit ability, so he rejected his kindness. And the appearance of Weiwei. She is already his woman anyway, so it is quite appropriate to give the other party the ability of this devil fruit. Just right. It can also increase the combat power of his team of bounty hunters. He doesn't want to be a nanny. He always protects his woman. He doesn't want his woman to look good in a vase. Therefore, he needs to improve the strength of Nami and others. The best thing is to give them the ability to obtain a devil fruit. Of course, forget about the devil fruit with side effects. He needs to prepare more preparations to synthesize some powerful devils. The fruits will come. Moreover, if his women are powerful, in disguise, not many people would dare to provoke them. He knows very well what kind of garbage the world government is. If he does not have the strength to rely on, the other party may suddenly come to him. If the people on his ship all have emperor-level combat power. Whether it is the world government or the navy, if you want to offend him, you have to carefully weigh it. After all, a ship with emperor-level combat power, then this is no joke. Moreover, there are 4 people on board now. However, in the future, the number of companions on his ship will continue to increase. In the future, there will be 5, 6, 7 people, and if all of them have at least an emperor-level combat power. So, he could walk sideways across the entire ocean. But it needs to be restricted. That's it. Only female crew members are recruited. After all, he alone is enough. If some more men come up and stay in a boat, they might all disappear. Therefore, he has no habit of pretending to be a green turtle. Whoever wants to be one can do it. Anyway, he improper. Then. Brr. This is the sound made by the phone bug that contacted the red hair. Ever since he asked for some of Yuta's dowry that day, the other party kept calling. In the early days, there were at least dozens of calls a day, but he didn't answer. Then, the other party seemed to realize that he didn't want to answer the phone at all, so, the number of phone calls also decreased. However, I am still bombarded with about 10 calls every day, but Qingyun didn't answer, pick up a hair, listen to the other party threatening him. But, the transaction time agreed upon with the other party is approaching soon, it's time to discuss with the other party where the transaction will be held, click. Qingyun picked up the microphone on the back of the phone bug, just picked it up, the other end of the phone bug, there was a sound. Boss, the phone bug got through. The sound was very loud. After a while, the expression of the phone bug in front of him also changed, and it changed to the way he was talking to the red hair. It was obvious that the red hair was now talking to him with the microphone. The new bounty hunter from the East China Sea, the demon sword hunter, Qingyun, is right. Red hair said. To read exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. As expected of the red-haired one of the four emperors, I think you have investigated me from top to bottom in nearly a month. Qingyun raised his eyebrows, but he was not surprised by this kind of thing, or in other words, this kind of thing had been expected by him. After all, the other party was the red-haired Shanks, one of the four emperors. If the other person's face doesn't have the ability to detect information, so that's somewhat nonsense. Young man, give me some face and let Yuta go. I will let this matter go. On the other end, the red hair began to activate the ability of the face fruit, but... Do you want to eat farts? Redhead, your face is not worth mentioning to me. If there are not 10 big pirates as promised, don't blame me for destroying them when the time comes. Also, the agreed transaction place is in the royal capital of the Kingdom of Alabasta. I will wait for you at the royal palace. After saying that, Qingyun also hung up the phone directly. He didn't give the other party a chance to continue talking. On the other side, the red-haired man stared blankly at the phone that had been hung up, and stayed there. This is the first time someone actually refused to give him any face. In the past, when he said he would give me a face, he always did it without any disadvantage, but he failed here. For a time that he didn't know what to say. This kid really doesn't give me any face. He also shook his head helplessly. Red hair, if Yuta likes this boy. Beckman did not continue. But everyone, including the redhead, knew what Beckman was going to say next. If Yuta likes each other, wouldn't the other party become his son-in-law? How could such a son-in-law give no face to his father-in-law? It's scary to think about it. Although I am grateful to this boy for helping Yuta untie his knot, this boy is too disrespectful. This time in Alabasta, I must beat him. The red-haired man also said, how powerful is the power of one of the four emperors? The answer is, very big. Especially since he returns to the East China Sea all the year round, it is impossible to say that there are not some manpower and power arrangements in the East China Sea. So, in things after it happened, he began to ask people in the East China Sea to investigate, especially Elegia. Gordon also communicated with him personally. There was also Twin Cape. He also asked people to go there. And he used phone bugs to communicate with him. Crocus talked and learned a little about Yuta. Therefore, he also investigated 90% of the situation. So he already knew that Qingyun was not an enemy. However, the other party's method of extortion, I dislike him very much, especially when the other party doesn't give me face, which is even more serious. I don't know how much the other party occupies in Yuta's heart, but, he must teach the other party a lesson. Let the other party know, Wuta behind the tower, there is also his old father as a backer. Guys, let's go. Red-haired Shanks also got off the boat. After all, the next distance here is land, so you need to walk across it. That's right, he has already arrived at the seaside of the Kingdom of Alabasta early. While waiting, he was waiting for the other party to call him, contact him, Hawawangho, and confirm the specific location of the transaction. Now the wait is here, so, it is time to set off. Just, when setting off, most of their red-haired pirates, the people stood up and walked towards the Kingdom of Alabasta. In addition, they also brought 10 people who were tied up tightly and unable to move. If you know the pirates who are being rewarded very well, if people see the faces of these people, they will definitely be able to recognize the identities of these tied people, one by one. They are all big pirates in the New World. Moreover, their bounties are all over 500 million. However, such a group of big pirates were all caught by red hair. Here, Qingyun and others are also getting ready. He put his big ship into his personal space. The three of them also set off in the direction of the Kingdom of Alabasta. He himself is already looking forward to this transaction. There are 10 big pirates with bounties of more than 500 million belly. Such big pirates must have the strength of a general or a lieutenant general, so, if everyone drops a few more ability crystals for him, this transaction, he can directly make his strength reach the Emperor level. Even, he is not the only one to step into the Emperor level strength. Even there may be more than one, and I can't say for sure. But mainly, it still depends on how many general-level ability crystals will fall from these big pirates after he kills them. So, he also full of expectations. I led Nami and the three of them towards the Kingdom of Alabasta. Thank you to 94 Hormonster for your monthly ticket support. Thank you very much. Chapter 69. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kingdom of Alabasta. Now, due to Crocodile's plan, it has not rained in other places except the capital of Alba for 3 years, and all the citizens believe that the king used dancing powder in private, which caused the drought. Rebellions broke out in various places, and civil wars continued, so the kingdom of Alabasta was already in a precarious situation. In this case, if you want to solve the problem, you must first get rid of Crocodile, who is constantly causing trouble in the kingdom of Alabasta. After, that is to make it rain in the kingdom of Alabasta. Otherwise, the civil war will still continue. After a day or two of traveling, Qingyun and others finally arrived at Alba, the capital of the kingdom of Alabasta. Only, they just arrived, someone blocked them directly. Nicole Robin. Qingyun looked at the other person and said the other person's name. Why, you think I'm short of money, so you're planning to come to your door and ask me to arrest you in exchange for the bounty? But he also looked at the other party and joked. Will Mr. Qingyun be able to survive with his head in his hands? As far as I know, none of the pirates you targeted, Mr. Qingyun, were sent alive in exchange for the bounty. Robin said with a smile. Her words revealed that she knew a lot about Qingyun's deeds as a bounty hunter. I'm a compassionate person, and I can't bear to attack a beautiful woman like you. Qingyun teased. After the words fell, he felt 2 terrible murderous auras erupting directly behind him. This made him react quickly. Nami and Weiwei are still around. Say this in front of them. No, it's just adding fuel to the fire, but, having said it all, I can only bite the bullet and endure it. Mr. Qingyun, your current strength is not enough to face the boss behind me, so I advise you to leave now before it's too late. If you wade into muddy waters for your little girlfriend, you may end up dead. Said Robin. Although what you said makes sense. Qingyun also smiled, raised his index finger at the other party and shook it, but I like to say no to self-righteous people, so I refuse. Then. 317 He also continued. Although Crocodile is powerful, he is currently just relying on his natural devil fruit. If I am still afraid of even a mere Shichibukai, how can I kill the Yonko in exchange for the bounty? Stop looking down on people, Nico Robin, Qingyun said domineeringly. When he awakened the overlord color and dominance in the small garden, it already showed the ambition in his heart. Afraid? It is impossible. The overlord color and dominance itself is the embodiment of one's own courage. Those who possess overlord color and dominance people may have a fragile side in character, but it is basically impossible to be weak. Robin looked at Qingyun's beautiful eyes. It was undeniable. Compared with the pirates she had seen, Qingyun, the bounty hunter, was undoubtedly more courageous. It made her look at her differently. Nico Robin, if you just want to tell me this, then you can get out of the way. After I trade with the red hair, I will chop off your boss's head and exchange it for the bounty. No, it's the king's Shichibukai, and the bounty has been cancelled. That's really a pity. Qingyun also shook his head with disappointment. If Crocodile hadn't been the king's Shichibukai, his head would be worth at least hundreds of millions of belly. It's a pity. After becoming the king's Shichibukai, the reward order will be stop and let go of the past. Therefore, even if he kills Crocodile, he cannot exchange the opponent's head for the bounty. However, he is bound to get the opponent's sha-sha fruit. After all, the power of the sha-sha fruit cannot be tolerated. Xiaosher, if he can use an animal-type devil fruit as the basis and constantly add other natural-type and superhuman-type devil fruit abilities, then the synthesized devil fruit abilities will definitely be very powerful. Amazing. Then I'll wait and see Mr. Qingyun's performance. Robin stood up, her beautiful figure immediately exposed. At the same time, she also walked aside to let Qingyun and others pass. If you want to join my team of bounty hunters, you're welcome. Qingyun said. However, after the words fell, the murderous intent behind him became even worse. There were even more than 2. Judging from his perception of domineering power, there should be 3 murderous intents. He secretly complained in his heart, it's smooth, it's really just smooth. On the other hand, Crocodile is having an extremely headache at this time. Red hair, damn it, how could such a monster come all the way from the New World and come to the kingdom of Alabasta? What is his purpose in coming? That when his intelligence officer relayed this piece of news, he just felt that the intelligence officer was teasing him, but he confirmed that the red hair had indeed traveled from the New World to the Kingdom of Alabasta. After here, he was numb. As someone who had once challenged Whitebeard, no one understood the value of the Yonko better than him. The red-haired man who became the Yonko 4 years ago did not become the Yonko by relying on newspapers. Instead, he became the 4 emperors by relying on his own strong strength. Therefore, he did not understand that such a monster came to the paradise in the first half of the Great Route. Entering the palace directly, was the red hair invited by Cobra? Crocodile secretly thought, but he couldn't figure out what the relationship between the two people was. This is a redhead, the redhead of one of the 4 emperors. How could it be that Cobra just invited him here? What's more, in Cobra's interpersonal relationships, the other party had no connection with the red hair at all. How could the red hair suddenly appear in the Kingdom of Alabasta and live in the palace of the Kingdom of Alabasta? He the purpose, but he came for the ancient weapon Pluto, but the red-haired one undoubtedly disrupted his plan. That's all. I wish the red-haired guy would just come and sit. Crocodile doesn't dwell on this anymore. Over there, Mr. One hasn't solved that group of people yet? Crocodile also frowned slightly. Some time ago, he sent Mr. One out because he got information about the person who attacked his Baroque works. It is said that he has appeared in the capital of the Kingdom of Alabasta. Alba is here, so he asked Mr. One and his partner to go over and let them deal with this guy who caused trouble for Baroque works. Here, Qingyun and others also came across as scheduled, the road blocker, ahead. To read exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Nico Robin appeared and staked his way, and now, another senior agent from Baroque Studio blocked his way, Mr. One, de Zapones. And his partner, Miss Doublefinger, also known as Sarah. The people at Baroque Works are really endless. Qingyun curled his lips and said. You must be the one who attacked Whiskey Peak. Mr. One asked. If you're wondering that, yes, that's me. Qingyun answered the other party very honestly. What a handsome guy. It's a pity that you provoked our Baroque work company. Miss said with her fingers. It's as if you've got me. Qingyun shook his head. He is sure to kill these 2 people, because these 2 people can bring him a lot of ability crystals, and they can also drop devil fruit ability crystals for himself. Besides, they are also enemies. Since the other party really came to the door, then he had no reason to let him go. Qingyun, one of them has a reward of 70 million Baileys, and the other has a reward of 35 million Baileys. We must capture them both. Behind her, Nami also reminded Qingyun. New. Qingyun responded. The next moment, his figure disappeared from the place, a sword flow ghost energy armed Jingja. The ghost energy and armed Haki were respectively covered on his demon sword, the 3rd generation of ghosts. His figure disappeared from the place like thunder, and then appeared behind Mr. One. Thank you, I finished it. Qingyun's words fell, pouch. Blood spurted out from Mr. One's chest. There was a puzzled look on his face. He didn't even have time to react. When did the opponent's knife hit him? It was too fast. Then, Mr. One also fell to the ground suddenly. The fruit ability is good, but the premise is that your opponent's strength is equal to yours. When Mr. One was dying, he heard the words from Qingyun's mouth. He knew that there was only one reason for his defeat. That was the gap between him and the other party. It was really too big. That's why the other party was so straightforward. Defeat him or even kill him. What? Bonus. Miss reacted only after Desbonis fell with her hands. The thorn stung. She immediately used her thorn fruit ability, and thorns sprouted all over her body, turning into a ball of needles, but .1 sword style armed with ghost energy. Qingyun raised the 3rd generation of ghosts, pointed the tip of the sword at the opponent. The power of ghosts and armed Haki covered the 3rd generation of ghosts, and then hit the 3 generations of ghosts with all the strength, and struggled forward. It was just a thrust. This power turned into a flying slash with ghostly aura and armed domineering power. This attack was extremely concentrated, which also made his attack unusually powerful in terms of penetration. It has destructive power. This flying slash directly penetrated Sarah, who had turned into a needle ball. Her ability was also lifted directly when she was seriously injured. This little brother is so ruthless, he doesn't know at all how to be compassionate towards women. Sarah lay on the ground, looking at Qingyun dying, and said, "We are enemies." Qingyun's simple answer directly stated his attitude, so what about women? If they are enemies, they can only die. Yes. Sarah also died after saying these last words. Qingyun's attack showed no mercy. The piercing just now was the opponent's heart. As for why he could still speak after piercing the heart. Because although his blow hurt the opponent's heart, but it was only a small part, the other party avoided a little distance in the end. That's why he could say these few words at the end. After he killed the two people, the words of Goldfinger also appeared again. Pickable items detected. Do you want to pick them up? Pick up. Ding. Successfully picked up. Excellent physique crystal *2, perfect physique crystal *4, excellent soul crystal *2, perfect soul crystal *3, perfect talent crystal *2, legendary talent crystal *1, excellent physical technique crystal *3. Perfect taijutsu crystals *2, perfect kendo crystals *4. Legendary Superman type quick slash fruit crystal *1, legendary Superman type thorn fruit crystal *1, have been stored in the portable space. Beheaded 2 people. For Qingyun, the harvest is not small. Moreover, he also obtained a lot of perfect physique crystals. This quantity was enough to upgrade his physique from school level to general level. He also took out 3 perfect body crystals and drank them without hesitation. His physique, get promoted quickly. After a while, this improvement also ended. His physique successfully entered the general level. Also, and his kendo, he gained a lot this time. Naturally, he continued to eat 3 perfect kendo crystals, and continued to improve his kendo from a swordsman to the realm of a great swordsman. After reaching this realm, only then did he realize that the gap between the swordsman and the great swordsman was really huge. If, as a swordsman, he was unable to cut down ships like Hawkeye and Zoro 2 years later, then he is now, it can already be done. During this time, his 3-color hockey was also cultivated through his hard work. Of course, a large part of it was copied from Smoker's notes on hockey training, which allowed him to obtain 1 in both armed color hockey and wisdom color hockey. Points of experience improvement. Also, his overlord color and dominance has also been improved by 1 point of experience due to his continuous practice. Let's go, the red hair is already waiting for us at the palace. Qingyun put away the 2 corpses and said to Nami and others, then, they also walked towards the palace of the Kingdom of Alabasta. Thanks for the monthly ticket support that I finally missed. Thank you very much. Chapter 70. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kingdom of Alabasta, the capital is Alba, and here is the royal palace in the capital. Qingyun and his party walked in unimpeded. After all, there was a princess from the Kingdom of Alabasta beside them. As long as these guards and soldiers were not blind, the other party would not stop them from moving forward. Excuse me, are you the bounty hunter and demon sword hunter Qingyun? When they reached the depths of the palace, a guard noticed them. The guard's eyes mainly fell on Qingyun, and then he stood up and asked. It's me. Qingyun nodded and said. Your Majesty Princess, Lord Qingyun, please come this way. Your Majesty the King already knows that you will come, so he specially ordered to wait for you here. Please go this way. Your Majesty the King and the distinguished guests are all waiting here for Lord Qingyun. You. This guard also showed them the way. Good. Qingyun did not refuse the other party. The other party's guidance basically had only one possibility, that was that the red-haired Shank specifically told King Cobra about his purpose of coming this time, so a place was specially prepared for them. Deal. So, a group of them also followed each other and walked over. Among them, the most nervous person was naturally Yuta. She had not seen Shanks for more than 10 years, and now her heart was full of knots. Untied, she was really looking forward to seeing the other person. However, when she was about to see the other person, she felt sleepless and nervous again. Don't be afraid, we are here. Nami noticed Yuta's nervousness and grabbed the opponent's palm to give him confidence. Yuta nodded. This journey is obviously a bit complicated. Even if unfamiliar people come to such a place without someone to guide them, they will most likely get lost. Soon, the guards will also. They were brought to a main hall, the first step in. Whoa. All eyes looked at him. The source of these eyes was the people of the red-haired pirate group. His eyes were also. Then they looked at each other. However, even if the other party had the aura of the four emperors of the New World, it still brought him a lot of pressure. Fortunately, he had awakened a domineering spirit, otherwise, his performance would probably be quite unbearable. Red-haired Shanks is truly the Yonko of the New World, full of courage. Qingyun also walked forward with the three girls, and walked in front of the red-haired Shanks. He also said with a smile. So what about the four emperors? They were threatened by you, a young boy from the East China Sea. Shanks looked at Qingyun and said, he, the four emperors, was threatened by a bounty hunter, and moreover, he was threatened by a newcomer who had only been a bounty hunter for a few months. This was undoubtedly the first time in history. No, not a threat, just blackmail. I have solved the conflict between your father and daughter. What's wrong with asking a few big pirates to exchange money? Qingyun said confidently, coward. This is impossible, so what if he is the four emperors? Qingyun is still a time traveler, and he is a cheat with golden fingers. This is the first time I have seen such a thick-skinned person like you. Shanks said speechlessly, good guy, directly threatening repayment. No, it should be Shane's blackmail. It's really shameless. He feels that if his daughter follows the other party, sooner or later he will be led astray. Without further ado, what about the 10 big pirates with bounties of more than 500 million? Qingyun said. Bring it up. Hearing this, Shanks also knew that in a quarrel, he should not be able to fight the other party. After all, the other party's face is too thick-skinned, and after the red-haired voice, some people in the red-haired pirate group also brought up 10 big pirates, but, look at the appearance of these 10 big pirates. They have obviously been hungry for a long time. Maybe they had not eaten when they were caught by Shanks, and behind him. This is Geraltus the Ghost Leopard, with a bounty of 580 million Baileys, and Barnet the Vulture, with a bounty of 620 million Baileys, and this is Flash Bensent, with a bounty of 530 million Baileys. One belly. When Nami saw these big pirates, the content of the bounty she saw immediately came to mind, and she opened her mouth. This business, it can be said that he is quite skilled. Qingyun said that most of the bounty orders have been memorized by Nami. Otherwise, the other party would be able to tell the names of these big pirates and the bounty money just by seeing their faces. Specific number, but it is undeniable, such behavior, it can be said to be quite professional. But, when her words fell into the ears of these big pirates who had been hungry for who knows how many days, they all became angry. Damn little girl, what do you think we are? Pray. Damn redhead, you guy, what on earth did you do to catch us here? Are you trying to humiliate us? Damn it, you have the ability to kill us with one knife. Angry words also came out from the mouths of these 10 big pirates. After all, they have a reputation in the New World, and they have a place. But because of the sudden attack of Red Hair, as a result, they lost everything and became prisoners in the hands of Red Hair. If they are not angry when faced with this, what else can you be angry about? Clang! Qingyun drew his sword. Just kill him with a knife. The heads of these big pirates all fell to the ground. At the same time, his actions also shocked everyone in the red-haired pirate group. Everyone was on guard and placed their hands on their weapons. He just killed some pirates, so he shouldn't have such a big reaction. Qingyun also smiled and said, the reason why he wants these big pirates to live is that after he kills these big pirates himself, he can pick up the ability crystals dropped from them. These big pirates thief, maybe it's because the red-haired pirates and others have been hungry for too long. Of course, the reason why they are hungry, most likely because Qingyun wants to live. Therefore, although these people are hungry, they are still hungry. It can be considered alive. If Qingyun doesn't care about life or death, it's uncertain. What he brought are the corpses of these big pirates. However, it is precisely because these big pirates are starving that Qingyun can easily pass by with a knife and fly. The slashing attack directly harvested all the heads of these big pirates. At the same time, the text of the golden finger appeared, pickable items detected, do you want to pick them up? Pick up. Ding. Successfully picked up, legendary physique crystals *51, legendary soul crystals *42, legendary talent crystals *32, epic talent crystals *3, legendary physical arts crystals *49, legendary swordsmanship crystals *38, perfect overlord color hockey *14. The legendary overlord color hockey *9, the perfect armed color hockey *32, the legendary armed color hockey *6, the perfect knowledge color hockey *21, the legendary knowledge color hockey *8, have been stored in the portable space. The harvest is huge, whether it's body, soul, talent, physical skills, swordsmanship or other ability crystals, they are all legendary at least. Class. Also, there are also 3 colors of domineering. Although, some of these people have some specializations, and some have lower levels of domineering, but these people have at least raised their domineering level to the school level. So, he also obtained a large number of perfect 3-color domineering crystals. There are also legendary 3-color domineering crystals. It can be described as an amazing harvest. Then, he also decisively took out 10 legendary body crystals, 10 legendary soul crystals, 9 legendary taijutsu crystals, 10 legendary kendo crystals, 14 perfect overlord color domineering crystals and 9 legendary overlord color domineering crystals, 11 perfect armament color domineering crystals, and 11 perfect knowledge color domineering crystals, all taken in one go. His strength is increasing rapidly. But, the improvement of ability crystals is a perfect improvement, it allows him to have perfect control over his own power, so he doesn't have to worry about going berserk at all. Although, he stood still, but Shanks felt a threatening aura from him, he didn't know why. To read Baoshuang novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. It is obvious that the other party is just a new bounty hunter who has just walked from the East China Sea to the Grand Route, he didn't know why he felt a threatening aura from the other party's body. There is something unreasonable about this. But, he will not deny his feelings rashly, and Qingyun's promotion, it passed quickly, he also looked at his own data through the golden finger, host, Qingyun. Talent, royal level, 0 out of 10, physique, emperor level, 0 out of 10, soul, emperor level, 0 out of 10, abilities, emperor level physical skills, 1 out of 10, supreme swordsman, 0 out of 10. Lieutenant level silent steps, 0 out of 10, dominance, emperor level overlord color domineering, 0/10, general level armed color domineering, 0.05/10, general level. Knowledge color domineering, 0.02/10, weapon, Ryo Kwai sword 3rd generation Ki Tetsu, 1/10, 0.0 flowers requested. Ships, rare and large ships, 6.91 out of 10. Are undeniable. This time, he immediately gained weight, the harvest that 10 big pirates brought him was really too great. Now, he still had a lot of ability crystals on his hands that could help him continue to improve, but he refrained from using them, because he still needs to keep some for his woman. After all, if you want to improve your strength, it is the ability to swallow crystals that improves the fastest. His talent, body, soul, physical skills, swordsmanship, and even his overlord color and domineering energy all reached the level of the emperor, but that doesn't mean he's invincible. Among generals, they can all divide the strength of some major generals, lieutenant generals, and he is now, it's just that he has just reached the imperial level of strength. It can be regarded as the first time to enter the level of the 4 emperors, compared to beings like the Yonko of the New World. The other party may already be on this path. Calculating based on his experience points, he may have already taken 6 or 7 experience points. To know, the stronger the strength, even a 1-point increase in experience will be an extraordinary improvement. Not to mention, what about the emperor level? But, for someone like him who has used plugins, these are not problems, or to him, just lack of strength. Now his strength has reached the emperor level. If you want to continue to improve, at worst, you can just go to the New World and kill a few big pirates to get enough ability crystals to improve your strength. A cheating life, no further explanation is needed. At this time, red-haired Shanks also looked towards him, see this, Qingyun also waved his hand, collect all the corpses of the big pirates here. Devil fruit users. Shanks was also surprised when he saw this. After all, the only thing that can directly make 10 corpses disappear out of thin air is the method. If it is magic, it will definitely not escape his eyes and his knowledge. He is domineering, so it can only be that the other party has taken some devil fruits with magical abilities. However, this time, he is not just here because of the other party's blackmail. He is here to let the other party know, Yuta. With him like this, an old father is his backer, therefore, it is necessary for him to give this boy who has never seen the world a big surprise. Qingyun boy, do you know how big the world is? Shanks said suddenly. This surprised Qingyun. I don't understand why the other party said that, but the next moment, an extremely powerful overlord color burst out from Shanks' body and came straight towards him to suppress him. His instinct, he just used his own overlord color domineering power to resist the impact of the opponent's overlord color domineering power. The overlord color domineering force that has been promoted to the Imperial level can easily block the impact of the opponent's overlord color domineering force. Boom. Two astonishing domineering colors collided together. Next moment, the floor between Qingyun and Shanks cracked open, and the crack spread to both sides, directly dividing the room into two. As expected of the 4 emperors of the New World, the domineering and domineering nature of this monster is really terrifying, just like a monster. Qingyun sighed while resisting the other party's domineering aura. Hearing this, Shanks always felt that the other party's tone of voice was a bit arrogant. It's just that a newcomer who just walked out of the East China Sea unexpectedly walked out of a monster like you. Compared to me, you are more like a monster. He instantly had the idea of testing Qingyun's depth. The power of Overlord Color's domineering power was also gradually improved under his control. Faced with the opponent's improvement, Qingyun was naturally not to be outdone and directly used his own Overlord Color Haki responded back. So, from the beginning of the general level Overlord Color domineering, they also gradually improved to the peak of the general level, until they both broke out in an astonishing clash of Emperor level. Overlord Color domineering. Boom! There was a loud noise from the palace, which was the scream of the palace. Originally, the overlord-like domineering between Qingyun and Shanks only caused the room to split into two, but now, under their imperial level overlord under the impact of the domineering lust, the cracks continued to spread. At this moment, the entire palace really began to crack, split into two. Thank you to the gangster Long Teng for your monthly ticket support. Thank you very much. 100 million. Chapter 71. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is this a newcomer from Donghai? At this moment, the red-haired man only had this sentence in his mind: the East China Sea is called the weakest sea. However, this year, such a monster unexpectedly appeared. He has already burst out with an emperor-level domineering aura, but the other party also showed a royal level of domineering to compete with him. It was numb. It was really numb. He just wanted to give the other party a show of strength and let the other party know that there was his old father behind Yuta, so that the other party could, if you bully Yuta, you'd better give me a try. But who would have thought that he would actually bring out the opponent's strength? This level of domineering, he didn't have it when he was the opponent's age, right? Young man, give me some face and stop here. The red-haired glanced at Cobra, who had passed out under the impact of the two of them's domineering aura, and he also said aloud, the collision of the Overlord's domineering aura now almost split the entire palace into two. The burst of Overlord Color domineering energy must have affected most of the people living in Albarai, the capital of the Kingdom of Alabasta. These ordinary people simply do not have the ability to withstand the impact of Overlord Color domineering energy. Therefore, most of Albarai, the residents of the Kingdom of Beston, should have fainted under the impact of the Overlord's domineering energy. This will affect the normal operation of a kingdom, so, the red-hair just spoke out and prepared to stop, but... Redhead, you will fight if you say you want to, but you won't fight if you don't. Who do you think you are? I need to give you face. 727. Come and fight. Qingyun said angrily. The clay figurine still has 3 points of fire. He, Qingyun, never gives in. So what if you are Yuta's old father? After provoking him to this point, he can't retaliate, and he can't help but become a turtle. Immediately, he pulled out the third-generation ghost. The power of Overlord's hockey was directly wrapped around the weapon. He slashed at the red hair. Damn it! This young man is incredible. After seeing Qingyun's Overlord color domineering energy, the red-haired man's eyes widened, and he was shocked and exclaimed. The next moment, he quickly drew out his weapon Fengel, which was also entangled with Overlord color domineering energy, and pointed at the opponent. The attack of the two people hit, boom. The attacks of the two collided together. It was not a collision of weapons, but a collision between the Overlord color domineering energy wrapped around their weapons, even if the weapons were not in use, but the attack of Overlord's domineering aura can be said to be a collision between the top experts in the world. The roof of this room was directly hit by their attack and exploded. The ground under their feet was blown away. Also cracked directly. No one knows how long the floor under their feet can last under the attack and collision of this Overlord's domineering energy. At this moment, the red hair also secretly cried out in pain. Who would have thought? It was just a test. Instead, it gradually developed into a battle between Emperor-level powerhouses. He just came to see the boy who kidnapped his daughter and blackmailed him, then he gave the other party a small lesson, but, who would have thought, this kid has so much hidden secrets. You are just a new bounty hunter who just came out of the East China Sea. Why do you have the strength to firmly enter the imperial level? This is unscientific, especially this young man. His age. He looks very young at first glance. Damn it, are all the young people these days so exaggerated in strength? His red hair has only been the Yonko for a few years. Could it be that he has not kept up with the times? Moreover, the most important thing is, this is the second time this kid has failed to give himself face. Damn it, when did his face have no effect at all? Being able to fight against the Yonko is a good experience. Red-haired, give it your all. Qingyun said loudly. He was already ready to fight the opponent with all his strength. Now, he still has a lot of legendary body crystals on hand. Unless the red-haired man directly kills himself with a knife, he can fight with the opponent. Has been wasting up until he defeated the opponent. What's more, he defeated the red-haired Shanks, one of the 4 emperors. If this news spreads, it will help him become famous. His bounty hunter, the title of Demon Sword Hunter, can also be changed. Hearing this, the red-haired man felt that his head was extremely big. Are young people these days so arrogant? They looked like they were about to chop themselves. Don't you know that I am Yuta's old father? You want to pull it out that I chopped your father-in-law with a knife. But the other party had no intention of stopping, so he had no choice but to attack. But at this moment, Qingyun, stop quickly. My father has already passed out. Behind Qingyun, Weiwei struggled to say what she wanted to say under the collision of 2 emperors. In addition to her, Nami and Yuta also felt uncomfortable. After all, the collision of emperors, ordinary people, there wasn't even a chance to get close. Qingyun hadn't burst out his domineering power from time to time during training. These 3 women would have fallen to the ground in a coma. However, they managed to resist. But I wanted to say something. That was all I could do. After the words fell, Qingyun also slowly put away the overlord-like domineering energy that exploded from his body, and restrained his own strength. On the opposite side, the red-haired man saw Qingyun restraining his own strength. After that, he also made the same move as the other party. He restrained the domineering energy he released into his body. There was no fight. This is something to be thankful for. Otherwise, if the other party really let go and started fighting regardless of everything, the consequences will have to be borne by the residents of Alba, the capital of the entire kingdom of Alabasta. Currently, more than half of the residents of the capital who have endured the impact of his and Qingyun's domineering aura have already fallen into coma. If there really is a fight, these people can only lie there and wait to die. You may not know, half of the people in the capital will die here. Therefore, he does not want to fight with Qingyun. After all, he is only here to do business, not to cause trouble. If someone bullies his companions, he will take action at all costs. But the problem is that after Cobra, the king of the kingdom of Alabasta, learned of their arrival, he politely gave his red-haired pirates all the money. Prepared delicious food, so, how could he not worry about the kingdom of Alabasta? Father, after Qingyun stopped, the pressure on everyone also dissipated. Weiwei also quickly ran to Cobra's side. Seeing this, Qingyun was a little embarrassed, he accidentally used his overlord color and domineering aura. He knocked his father-in-law into a coma. Moreover, his eyes scanned the miserable state of this palace, Qingyun. It seems like it went a little too far. He made his father-in-law's palace look like this time, the meeting with my father-in-law seemed a little bit unpleasant. Shanks. At this time, Yuta looked at Shanks and said. Grow up, Yuta. Shanks said with a smile. To read exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Yes. The little girl has grown so big. I almost didn't recognize it. Yuta, we have missed you so much for so many years. We still remember your singing till now. That the red-haired pirates and others also spoke one after another. This also made Yuta burst into tears. Why do you cry so much like a child? Shanks was also filled with emotions. Then. The man you found is not bad. Shanks said. These words also made Yuta stop crying. Then, his face turned red. No, he is not my man. Yuta explained with a blushing face. Okay, got it. The red-haired man also showed a meaningful smile. That's what he said. However, behind him, Beckman, Lucky, Jesusboo, Benji and others all smiled like the red-haired man. This made Yuta think I didn't know how to explain it. I was afraid that if it wasn't what I said, it would be misunderstood by them. Soon after, Cobra also woke up from the coma. When he saw his palace turned into this look finally, he widened his eyes and opened his mouth. Then he looked at Shanks and others as well as Qingyun and others. What he wanted to say was stuck in his throat and he couldn't say it at all. No matter what, these two people are ruthless characters. One is the Yonko of the New World, an existence that can be called the Emperor of the Sea. The other party's power, it is even easier to destroy the kingdom of Alabasta. Even after the world government found out about this matter, it could only issue some words of condemnation. As for actions, it would definitely not go to find a 4-year-old. The Emperor's trouble, and another one, it was enough to fight the 4 emperors of the New World, although he didn't know what happened during the coma. But, Qingyun's clothes were not damaged at all, which showed that the opponent must have resisted the power of the 4th Emperor Shanks, such a person that even the 4 emperors could not defeat. What else could he do? I can only endure it. But, he still saw the relationship between his daughter and this young man. This also made him slightly relieved. He is really lucky to have such a son-in-law. Just don't know, can the other party compensate for the damage caused by destroying his palace? The time of deep love between father and daughter is also over. The redhead walked towards him. Please take care of Yuta, don't bully her. Shanks said to him. Obviously his strength was recognized by the other party, so he handed over Yuta to him with confidence. Of course, no one can bully my companions on the ship as long as I am here. Qingyun said. Just kidding, he came to this world to cheat, not to be bullied. Whoever dares to bully his companions on the ship will have their ashes spread directly. No, he will also take the other person's ashes by the way. The ancestral graves were dug up. I can't stay here for too long, otherwise, the Navy will come looking for me. Come to the New World to find me in the future, and have a banquet and have a meal together. Shanks said. Good. Qingyun nodded. The other party invited him like this, so of course he agreed. Besides, he just regards bounty hunting as a profession. It doesn't mean that he has to draw a clear line with pirates because he is sworn in with crime. Besides, the red-haired pirates can be regarded as one of the few good people in the pirate group. After all, a gentleman does not care about his heart when it comes to his deeds, and there are few perfect people in the world. Kids, let's go. The red-haired one also shouted, and then she led the people away. Here at Yuta, she also waved goodbye to the red-haired pirate group and others. The red-haired pirate group and others also left. They stayed. Leave this place a mess. Qingyun noticed the damage of the palace, and this sentence flashed through his mind. 1.2 Damn it. He finally knew why the red-haired pirates and others left in such a hurry. Feelings, it was the mess that made this place. Leave it all to him. Damn redhead. Qingyun said through gritted teeth. At this time, Weiwei also came over with her father. I already know about you and Weiwei from Weiwei's mouth. From now on, Weiwei will be taken care of by you. Cobra looked at Qingyun with a complicated expression and said, his daughter went undercover at Baroque Works, but when the undercover came back, he brought him a man directly. Before, it was just a guess, but now it is clearly confirmed from his daughter's mouth, so it can be said that his heart is quite complicated. Father-in-law, please feel free to leave Weiwei to me. Qingyun said seriously, after all, he is his father-in-law, so he must give him some face. But this palace. Cobra saw the miserable state of the palace and wanted to remind Qingyun whether he could compensate. Father-in-law, you don't need to tell me, I'm going to kill Crocodile, the culprit. Qingyun said seriously. This king. Cobra wanted to remind. But. I know that Weiwei is my woman, so I will also help solve the rebellion in the kingdom of Alabasta, so just leave it to me, father-in-law. Qingyun interrupted the other party's words, Cobra. He finally saw that his son-in-law was deliberately digressing the topic and did not want to compensate. Thank you Taitu Henin. Monthly ticket support. Thank you very much.